Good evening and welcome in to Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket women's basketball here on BWYellowJackets.com. We're at Ursprung Gymnasium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace, where your Yellow Jackets will be hosting the Mount Union Purple Raiders. It's been a week out since the Yellow Jackets got the big win over conference rival John Carroll. And that one was huge as the women took sole control of the top spot in the OAC standings. But since that game, BW went on to beat Capital at the Capital Center by a score of 60-52, and John Carroll fell to Ohio Northern, so that separated a gap there. So the Yellow Jackets, they already now have clinched at least a share of the OAC title. If they can win tonight, then they will win it outright. If they were to lose tonight and lose the next game, John Carroll would have to win both of their upcoming games as well, then to get that share. So tonight, win and get that regular season title for the BW ladies. For Mount Union, their week has been a week of wins, as just like the Yellow Jackets, they've been continuing to win. They're on a 4-game win streak at the moment. Last 2 games, they beat Marietta at home 82-75, and then Heidelberg at home by a score of 82-58. And as we look at the starters, and they're about to get this one underway, quick thing for the Yellow Jackets as well. No Casey Hughes tonight, no Sydney Snyder. Snyder put some important minutes in off of the bench. Casey Hughes, a huge crucial factor to this team. She's going to be taking a rest and sitting out tonight. So Tiffany Bentler, another senior guard, will be starting in her place. So in addition to Tiffany Bentler starting out for the Yellow Jackets, also starting the floor will be number 12, Riley Schill, number 13, Kara Marshall, number 15, Hannah Feck, to hit 1,000 career points in that last game at Capital. And Hannah Feck, an outstanding sharpshooter. Congrats to her on the 1,000 points. And number 35, Megan Scheibelhut, will also join them. Starting down the floor for Mount Union, Elena Rao, number 10, Corinna Maynard, number 12, Madison Hensley, number 23, Sarah Hessel, and number 41, Haley Peoples-O'Neill. I'm Cole McDaniel. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're about set for tip here at Ursprung Gymnasium, and excited to get this one underway. Tip is won by Scheibelhut, and the game's underway. Fecht drives, kicks into the corner to Bentler, who tries to find Marshall. It's tipped and just goes out before Rao's able to get to that. Still Yellow Jackets ball, 21 on the shot clock. Ball inbounded to Schill. Fecht has it. Over to Bentler. Fecht on the near side, she drives. Kick to Scheibelhut. Kara Marshall wide open and just off. Unfortunate for the Purple Raiders as the Yellow Jackets found an opportunity, found a wide open shot, just not able to capitalize on that one. Still sitting at 0-0. And a good steal by Schill. She's got pressure on her back, goes with the left-handed layup, and she finishes that off. Madison Hensley was close behind her, but Schill stayed composed and got the first basket of the evening. Rao down low to Peoples-O'Neill, couldn't get to go. Ball bounces around, and Bentler snags the board for the Yellow Jackets. Drive by Bentler. Too strong. Marshall goes up strong and gets the board, kicks it out to Fecht. Fecht wide open off the front of the rim, and no good. And just a reminder, as the Yellow Jackets had been 12th in the D3 rankings, they still are at 12th at the moment. And a dish down there. And Mount Union now has their first points on the board as Sarah Hessel is able to finish that one off. Marshall here driving. Out to Schill. To Fecht. Fecht right through the lane, and a great take. The help defense not able to get there in time, and Fecht with the easy finish. She's now got 2. Maynard over to Rao. Scheibelhut gets in front of her. It's kicked over to Maynard. Maynard puts it on the floor, finds Peoples-O'Neill. Peoples-O'Neill with the right hand, and that's up and in. We are tied again at 4, 2 minutes in to the first quarter. And Marshall, that ball was fed into her and she went up strong. She's fouled from behind and she's going to go to the free throw line for the first free throw attempts of this evening, and that personal foul is going to go against Elena Rao. That's her first. That's also Mount Union's first team foul, and several substitutions now as Megan Scheibelhut comes in. Megan Scheibelhut goes to the bench. Lily Edwards comes in. Gabby Garrett checks in, and Tiffany Bentler goes to the bench. For Mount Union, Brianna Gosman is now into the game for her first action, as well as Hannah Schaefer. Marshall able to capitalize on that first free throw. And that second one just off the front of the rim, but Edwards able to corral it and find Gabby Garrett, and now another opportunity for the Yellow Jackets on this offensive possession. Fecht driving to Garrett. Schill with the wide open three off of the back of the rim, no good. Ball tipped around and pulled down by the Purple Raiders. Quickly on the break, Maynard has it to Rao. She shoots the three off of the front of the rim, no good. And Fecht quickly coming back in transition. Picks up her dribble, hands it to Marshall in front of the Purple Raider bench. Now down to Edwards. Edwards making a move on the low block. Goes to the right hand, can't get it to go. Now the Purple Raiders slow the pace down a little bit, and it looked like Schaefer took one to the eye, and she's still recovering from that hit. She dishes it down low, and a good job by Brianna Gosman. Fecht tried to come over and help, but Gosman went up strong. Her first 2 points of the game. There's a quick drive and a finish there from Marshall. Yellow Jackets retake the lead, 7-6. Just over 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. An open three in front of the Yellow Jackets student section. No good by Turley, and the Purple Raiders able to come up with it once again. Here's another three, and that one's buried by Schaefer, and she just took a hit to the eye recently, and she was having to shake that one off, but didn't seem to affect her too much as she buries that three, her first triple of the game. Schill swings it over to Fecht on the near side of the floor. Near side wing, not able to get that to go. Well short off the front of the rim. Purple Raiders quickly coming back the other direction. There's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to be the first team foul on the Yellow Jackets and the first personal on Lily Edwards. Several substitutions again, and Megan Hensel checks in for the Yellow Jackets for her first action of the game, as well as Sydney Diedrich. Annika Sweeney checks into the game for the Purple Raiders, as well as Kelsey Glass. And Zanny Sauter is also into the game for her first action. And that pass, just tipped out by the Yellow Jackets, will remain in the hands of the Mount Union Purple Raiders, but 12 on the shot clock. Something to be mindful of. Still have time. Lily Edwards went to the bench, and Megan Scheibelhut back into the game. Got 5, need to get a shot off. Sauter sees it, and that one looked like it was short all the way. Did catch the front of the rim though. Good hustle there from Haley Peoples-O'Neill, just not able to corral it, and that one's last off of Mount Union. Yellow Jackets ball. Sarah Hessel returns the game for Mount Union. And Schaefer goes to the bench. And so as this one's going on here at Ursprung Gymnasium, just a reminder that the men are playing at Mount Union. And I'll tell you what, the Mount Union Purple Raiders on the men's side of things, very solid team. They're currently ranked 9th in the country. That shot no good for the Yellow Jackets here. Ball tipped around, and after that foul called on the floor, excuse me, not a foul call on the floor, ball was tipped out, last off of the Purple Raiders. Yellow Jackets inbound from under the basket. Garrett with the ball in her hand. Over to Schill. Schill, top of the key. Garrett to Diedrich. Diedrich got to give it up. Tried to split the two defenders, and that one was blocked. And the Purple Raiders playing some good defense here so far. The Yellow Jackets have missed some open shots, but another good defensive stand by Mount Union. And that one blocked by Scheibelhut. Schill gives it to Garrett. Schill drives, kicks it to Scheibelhut. Scheibelhut knocks down that two-pointer. It's a great jumper. Evens this one up at 9. 4.5 minutes to go in the first. The three, that's up and good by Annika Sweeney. Her first 3 points of the game. Ball kicked in the corner to Diedrich. And Diedrich just steps out. And one thing we've seen a lot this year is not really seeing Diedrich and Scheibelhut on the floor at the same time. With two guards out and Sydney Snyder and Casey Hughes, we might see a little bit of a bigger lineup for the Yellow Jackets this evening. Didn't last long though as Scheibelhut goes to the bench, and we had several substitutions. Izzy Andrews checks in for her first action of the day. Tiffany Bentler back in, as well as Kara Marshall. Mid-range jumper from the baseline, way long there by Sauter. And Hinsel and the Yellow Jackets quickly coming back. Andrews, she tried to play the bounce pass there. She saw Diedrich under the hoop, and that one is going to be a kick ball remaining with the Yellow Jackets. Kelsey Glass goes to the bench, and Elena Rao is back into the game. Ball inbounded to Marshall, but it's stripped. Mount Union quickly coming in transition once again. Rao not able to pull in that first pass, but keeps it from going out of bounds. And that three is way long there from Madison Hensley, but it took a fortunate bounce for Mount Union. There's another three by Rao, and that one is no good. Hinsel comes up with it. Bentler driving. She tried to go up and go over Brianna Gosman. Gosman with the big block, but then she tried to go out and quickly break and run with it. Kicked off at the back of the heel of one of her teammates. Kind of just an unfortunate mistake there for the Purple Raiders as they turn that one over. So the Yellow Jackets will be inbounding it. It'll be Izzy Andrews right in front of the Mount Union bench. 3 minutes left to go here in the first. 12-9, still in favor of the Purple Raiders. Bentler, to Fecht. Fecht driving, and she stumbled a bit and tried to kick the ball out to Bentler, but she touched the line, and that one is going to be a turnover. Purple Raiders regain possession. So Purple Raiders get a huge block, turn it over. Yellow Jackets turn it right back. The Purple Raiders putting up a good fight here in the first quarter of this matchup at Ursprung Gymnasium. Ball tipped away, but Mount Union keeps it. Maynard puts the ball down the dribble. She picks up her dribble, and there's the shot, and that's buried by Madison Hensley. That last one she shot did not catch anything but the bottom part of the backboard. That one, nothing but net. Took her a shot to get her feel. And now she's buried that three. Mount Union lead up by 6. 15-9, and there's a turnover. Quickly coming down the other end, and the easy finish in the layup by Elena Rao, and I'd expect to see a timeout here soon, as I'm sure Coach Sherry Hare is not happy with the girls. And there's another turnover. Bad inbound, and Izzy Andrews gets her hand on the ball. Couldn't bring it in. Lane's wide open, and there's a good pass and a good finish there by Brianna Gosman. 19-9 in favor of the Purple Raiders as we open this one up. And there was that timeout kind of expected to come, and this, I know that Casey Hughes, who's a normal starter, isn't in, but this is a very talented Yellow Jacket team. 21-2 overall, and 15-1 in the conference. So It is still a good Mount Union team. Mentioned how good Mount Union's men's team is, but their women's team's still pretty good. They're sitting in the 4th position in the OAC standings at 14-9. And they're 8-8 in conference, but they're giving the Yellow Jackets a fight here tonight. Like I said, a win here tonight for the Yellow Jackets. They clinch outright sole possession of the OAC regular season title. So after that timeout, Yellow Jackets inbounding the ball, coming the length of the floor. 19-9 is your score, and Hannah Fecht splits the defense, and there's a reach-in foul going to be against Brianna Gosman. Excuse me, they gave that one to Sarah Hessel. I thought it was going to be Gosman who's the one who reached in. They said it was Hessel on the other side. That's going to be the 2nd team foul on the Purple Raiders. Haley Peoples-O'Neill back in the game. Marshall down to Schill. Schill taking advantage of that little bit of size she has, the size advantage she has over Corinna Maynard. And able to draw the foul from behind. Maynard picks up her first personal, 3rd team for Mount Union. Fecht driving out to Schill. Schill wide open off of the back of the rim and no good. And the Yellow Jackets just cold shooting so far, not able to get much to go. And usually a very good 3-point shooting team. That one in and out on the top of the 3-point arc by Schaefer. Once again, Mount Union gets their own rebound. Ball delivered down in to Haley Peoples-O'Neill. Peoples-O'Neill had that advantage over Gabby Garrett, but she pushed off. Probably didn't need to push off there, as she had that sealed off pretty well, and it looked like the ball was delivered in well, but she did, and there's another another team foul for Mount Union, as they now have 4. And Peoples-O'Neill goes to the bench. So ball inbounded. We've got 1 minute and 15 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. Purple Raiders still up, 19-9. The Yellow Jackets just need to get something going, as the offense hasn't worked. Edwards drives, and she gets hit from behind, and she's going to be going to the line. That was a great take there from Edwards to use her speed. Good use of the pump fake to draw the foul. So that foul for Mount Union went against number 21, Izzy Palamoni, the freshman out of Murraysville, Pennsylvania, Franklin Regional High School. And Edwards, that first free throw off of the back of the rim, and no good. Yellow Jackets, again, a really good free throw shooting team. They've left a couple at the line already early in this game, but Edwards able to pick up the second one. It's 19-10. Under a minute left to go. Mount Union with possession of the ball, and Hannah Fecht getting down and getting physical. And we've got a jump ball. Great job from Hannah Fecht to see the opportunity to reach between Hannah Schaefer's legs and get a hold of that ball. Possession arrow still remains with the Purple Raiders. You like to see that hustle play from Hannah Fecht. Mentioned earlier that she reached 1,000 points over the weekend as they played at Capitol, and the Yellow Jacket ladies won. So Fecht not only a sharpshooter and able to score over her career, she got down dirty there and played some quality defense. Palamoni drives, picks up her dribble. Need to get the shot off. Turley off of the front of the rim and no good. Gabby Garrett pulls it in. Game clock and shot clock virtually identical. Hannah Fecht pulls up with a quick jumper off of the back of the rim. No good, and Mount Union quickly coming down. But I think they're going to let this time run out and just go with a last second shot and see if they can beat the buzzer here. Fecht tight on Sauter. Over to Glass. Palamoni got 3 on the clock. The drive, the floater, and only catches backboard there as Schaefer can't get it to go. And that's how we're going to wrap up the first quarter here. Your score 19-10 in favor of Mount Union. We'll be right back with second quarter action. As we're coming back with second half action here, and Mount Union has the lead over your Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets by a score of 19-10. I want to let you know that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's basketball game is being brought to you by Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company, Papa John's Pizza in Berea, the official pizza provider of BW Athletics. Call us at 440-891-1900 or go online at papajohns.com. The Oswald Company, for all of your insurance and risk management needs. We start off the second quarter, a great drive there from Schill. And that's exactly what the Yellow Jackets needed to get on the board with some more scoring. Schill's now got 4, cuts it to a 7-point deficit for the Yellow Jackets. Ball dish down low. Brianna Gosman goes strong through the chest of Lily Edwards, and she's able to get that to go. Gosman's now got 6. Got the full court press on, and Schill finds the long pass to Edwards, over to Hensel. Good job breaking that. And now the Yellow Jackets with an opportunity with the wide open 3, and Megan Hensel off of the bench. She buries that 3, and that's exactly what the Yellow Jackets needed. That is their first 3-point field goal of the night. They were 0 of 7 before Hensel hit that shot. 21-15. Just under 9 to go here in the second quarter. Hensel slips, and the floater by Kelsey Glass is good. Great job by Glass to drive, but that's just unfortunate for the Yellow Jackets as Hensel fell, and Glass was able to make that wide open shot, and now Hannah Fecht makes a wide open 3 here on the other end. Fecht now has 5 back-to-back 3-pointers after going 0 for 7 as a team. Second quarter has been different from the 3-point arc already for the Yellow Jackets. 2 for 2 in this quarter. Bunch of substitutions on the floor now. So out there for the Yellow Jackets now, you have Hensel, Schill, Bentler, Marshall, and Edwards. Mount Union once again setting up in full court press. And the official had to get the net unattached from the rim. Now we're going to be getting this back in action here. The Yellow Jackets did a good job of breaking the press last time, and it looks like they're going to do the same again as Schill just blows by Maynard, kicks it to Bentler. Bentler puts on the floor and drives out to Hensel. To Schill, over to Bentler, near side of the floor. To the middle, to Schill, and now to Marshall. With 10 seconds, Edwards backing down, goes to the left hand and spinner and turns around with the jumper. Great finish there by Edwards. She's now got 3. Once again, cuts into the Mount Union lead, 23-20, under 8 here in the second quarter. And looking for that cut there from Hensley. That bounce pass intercepted by the Yellow Jackets. Edwards goes up strong, scoops it with the right hand, and banks it in. Edwards playing really well on the offensive end right now for the Yellow Jackets. She has 5. Purple Raider fans wanted a push there. Official said nothing. But Hensley out to Maynard. Got 9 on the shot clock. Over to Hensley, she's driving. off of the back of the rim. And Kara Marshall gets it and quickly breaks the other way. Schill down to Edwards. And Edwards once again going up. She missed the first one and got past Gosman and put it back up and in. Edwards being a force on the offensive end. And the Purple Raiders, now that they just gave up that lead, the Yellow Jackets regain the lead at 24-23. They turn it over. I would say on this offensive possession, I would have said go back to Lily Edwards, who was continuing to score all the points. She just got subbed out, though, as Megan Scheibelhut checks into the game. Garrett on the far side, dribbles to the middle of the floor. Swings it back over to Hensel, who ball's deflected, and it was fortunate for the Yellow Jackets, unfortunate on the finish there. Garrett not able to get that to go. When Hensel passed it, went off the back, and Yellow Jackets looked like they were in, couldn't get to go, and now the Purple Raiders come back the other way, and Corinna Maynard buries a wide open triple. That just goes to show you, when you don't capitalize on your opportunities sometimes, the other team will come back the other way and do just that. 26-24 for the Purple Raiders. Garrett into Scheibelhut, 7 on the clock. Out to Hensel. Hensel for 3 off of the back of the rim and no good. Maynard grabs it and gives it to Rao, back to Maynard. Rao driving, and she's bumped as she went to the right hand, and she's going to go to the free throw line for 2. So that foul going against Tiffany Bentler. That's going to be her first personal, first team on the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Diedrich checks in, as well as Hannah Fecht. Hannah Schaefer in for Mount Union. And that first free throw no good for Rao. It was close. Just couldn't get the friendly roll as it bounced off and fell off the front of the rim. Her second opportunity, though, is up and it's good. So she splits the pair at the line. Fecht finds a wide open Diedrich. Diedrich with the layup. Great job breaking that press, and Diedrich just leaked out. Nobody with her. Easy finish, but quick transition for Mount Union. BW not set to get back. That's a quick way to score and answer back for Mount Union. They go to the press once again. Marshall driving, finds Gabby Garrett, and Gabby Garrett again can't finish at the rim, and that's her second that she's missed at the rim in the last couple minutes. And it's quick 3 off of the front, and no good there from Sweeney. Yellow Jackets rebound at 29-26 in favor of the Purple Raiders. 4.5 to go. Ball tipped around. Bentler able to get it, and as she was trying to find Diedrich with the bounce pass, it was intercepted. And Rao quickly in transition with the jumper, no good. And this game sped up a lot, and at times not in a good way, as we're seeing a bunch of turnovers and quick shots that aren't working. Might be time to slow it down and run the offense. That's what the Yellow Jackets did there, and Garrett was wide open, could not capitalize from 3, the middle of the floor. Mount Union quickly the other way. On that pass, trying to find Hannah Schaefer on the block as she was trying to get herself open. Diedrich bumped her from behind, and that's going to be a foul against Diedrich. Her first personal, second team foul on the Yellow Jackets. Show back into the game, and number 2, Emily Lyon, gets her first action of the game as well. Sauter tried to blow by Schill, and that's going to be a foul on the floor on Schill. picks up her first personal as she just checked back into the game. Third team on the Yellow Jackets. So Fecht tight on Schaefer. Schaefer picks up her dribble. Swings it to Palamoni. Palamoni looking, finds a cutting Schaefer. Schaefer kicks it to the corner. Down on the dribble and tried to bank it in. Was Turley and she couldn't get to go. Ball deflected around, last off of the Yellow Jackets. Remains with Mount Union. So ball with Mount Union out to Sweeney. Sweeney. Excuse me, that's Sauter, number 2, Sauter. Sauter going by Fecht. And she gets by Fecht, but Fecht able to get enough of her body into her and force the errant shot. Lyon to Hensel. Hensel, use that pivot foot, turns around, swings it to the near side to Schill. Schill driving and kicks it out to Fecht. Fecht driving, a good move. She faked the pass and then went and scooped it with the left hand. A lot of contact there as looks like she got hit in the nose. So Fecht, once she takes a minute to take care of that nose, she'll be at the free throw line. So it looks like Fecht over there trying to stop the bleeding, and they're going to take a quick break to take care of that, as Fecht is going to have to come out and shoot some free throws. Tonight's Yellow Jacket women's basketball game is being brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Division, the healthcare provider of BW Athletics. American International. When you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. The Courtyard by Marriott and Town Place Suites in Middleburg Heights. Have you stayed at a Marriott today? Then Hannah Fecht. They took care of the blood there and made sure her nose was good, and she comes out and she buries both free throws, and now the Yellow Jackets only down 1, under 3 to go in the second quarter. And a foul there on the Yellow Jackets as Sarah Hessel is holding the ball up and kind of got sandwiched between 2 Yellow Jackets. It's going to go against Emily Lyon as she was trying to roll around and stay with her mark. Picks up her first personal. 4th team foul on the Yellow Jackets. Hessel to Glass. Glass blows by Lyon. No good. Yellow Jackets rebound it. Megan Hensel to Schill. Schill over to Edwards. Edwards drives, and the lane opened up for her, and that's a great take there from Edwards. And when she's been in the game tonight, she has been an offensive threat. 9 points now for Edwards. Yellow Jackets reclaim the lead, 30-29. The turn and the right-handed finish. Good effort there, a good look from Gosman. Not able to get to go. Lyon drives with the right hand, and she finishes with that layup. And this crowd loved that. And we've got timeout on the floor for Mount Union. Their score 32-29 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. We'll be right back after this timeout. We're back in action out of that timeout. We've got 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Yellow Jackets now have that lead 32-29. But Mount Union's been playing really tough today. And that's a mistake there, though, as they turn that one over. Yellow Jackets reclaim possession. Just an update at the men's game. Again, Mount Union, an outstanding team, ranked number 9 in the country in D3 men's basketball. But currently, at halftime, the Yellow Jackets have a 36-32 lead. We'll keep you updated on that. It's Megan Hensel here in this one. Goes in and finishes at the rim. She's now got 5. Yellow Jackets up 34-29. Ball tipped off of Garrett. Will remain with Mount Union. Madison Hensley set to inbound in front of the Yellow Jacket student section here. Hensley rolls over to the middle of the floor. Finds Rao. Rao with the floater with the right hand and banks it in. 34-31. Mount Union once again going with the full court press. Good job breaking it there for the Yellow Jackets. And Hensel with a wide open 3. Couldn't get to go. And they call a foul on Lily Edwards underneath the hoop. That foul's going to be on the floor. I think the officials have done a good job calling fouls tonight. I'm not sure about that one there. I thought she already had position and just a little bit of a bump. The officials said no, and that one's going against Edwards. Coach Harrer didn't like that one either. That one now has the Purple Raiders in the bonus, and Rao goes to the line. She missed on the first, though. And the second one, no good again. So the Yellow Jackets, although they didn't like the call, didn't give up any points after that foul. Still 34-31. We're under a minute here in the second quarter. Diedrich to the near side wing. Hensel, far side of the floor, finds Fecht. 10 on the shot clock. Dished it down low, and Diedrich trying to do a little give and go there with Fecht. And that bounce pass was a good look, but it was probably too close to the feet of Fecht and bounced into her knee and out of bounds. So turnover there for the Yellow Jackets, and Mount Union coming the length of the floor. 27 on the shot clock, 34 on the game clock. Hensley, ball tipped away, she dives. Looks like she saves it just before it goes out of bounds. Great hustle play. We've got a jump ball as bodies are on the floor. Arrow in favor of the Purple Raiders. Garrett subs out. Bentler in. Maynard gets it off of the inbound, hands it off to Hensley. Hensley rolling to her right hand, finds the middle of the floor. Maynard gets open, and her 3 off of the back of the rim and no good. Fecht is able to corral it off of the one hop and get it up the floor. 9 seconds, ball in the hands of Fecht. Asking for Diedrich to set a screen. She drives, kicks in the corner. Bentler fires, and that one's well short, and that's an air ball, and that's how we're gonna wrap it up here in the first half. So there you have it, into the first half. 34-31 in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and Mount Union came in here, and Yellow Jackets not able to hit their shots in the first quarter. Mount Union gave them a very tough first quarter, and they're hanging with them here. Yellow Jackets starting to turn it around in the second. But they really like to blow this one open and get a comfortable lead as they're trying to win an outright OAC regular season title. Again, 34-31. We'll be back after halftime with second half coverage here on BWYellowJackets.com. And welcome back, and as we're coming down to the conclusion of halftime here in this matchup between Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket ladies, and they're looking to improve their record to 22-2 overall and 16-1 in the conference, but Mount Union, who came in at 14-9, 8-8 in the conference, are giving the Yellow Jackets a tough test here tonight. Score is 34-31. It's shaping up for a very interesting second half here on BWYellowJackets.com. Once again, I'm Cole McDaniel. Thanks for listening this evening. Just a reminder that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's basketball game is being brought to you by Jimmy John's in Middleburg Heights. We're freaky fast, so your sandwich arrives freaky fresh. Call us at 440-625-0745 or go online at jimmyjohns.com. Crown Plaza in Middleburg Heights. When you're looking for a quality place to stay before or after any Yellow Jackets contest, choose Crown Plaza and Medical Mutual of Ohio, the healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. And there, the Yellow Jackets started off. Quickly coming back the other way is it's going to be a foul, an offensive foul on Megan Scheibelhut. Her first personal and the first team foul, and that one was a quick one here as we start this third quarter. Hensley to Maynard. Back to Hensley. He's looking for Peoples O'Neill. Decided not to go to her. It's kicked out. And an open shot. And that three no good for Hessel. It's a good kick out by Rao. The Hessel not able to capitalize. The Yellow Jackets coming back the other way with a hand effect three. And that one's no good off of the front of the rim. Rao quickly in transition over to Maynard. Maynard catches the bottom of the backboard straight into the hands of Fecht, and the Yellow Jackets coming back the other way. Fecht to Schill. Schill picks up her dribble. She needs some help. She finds Scheibelhut. Bentler swings it all the way over to Marshall, and Marshall across court pass to Schill. Schill driving with 10 on the shot clock. She splits through the two defenders. Lots of contact there, and Schill's going to go to the line. And that blocking foul means that's the second personal on Haley Peoples O'Neill. First team foul of the third quarter. Schill's first free throw is up and good, and Schill's the leading scorer on average for the Yellow Jackets this year at 11.5 points per game. Also shooting an impressive 88% from the free throw line, and you see that free throw shooting ability there as she cashes in on both free throws. The dish down to Peoples O'Neill, pressured by Scheibelhut, and she couldn't get that to go. Yellow Jackets with the rebound, 8.5 here in the third quarter. Yellow Jackets up by 5. Hand effect, mid-range jumper off of the side of the rim. Bounces up and hits the backboard, and no good. Purple Raiders coming back the other way. A good spin there from Rao. And went with the right hand and was able to bank that in. Schill needs some help as she was trapped. She finds Bentler. Wide open, Kara Marshall down there, and Kara Marshall drives. And she gets hit, and that one should be against Peoples O'Neill, and it is. So that's Peoples O'Neill. That's her third personal, and she's going to go to the bench, and now we have substitution, and Brianna Gosman checks in for the Purple Raiders. For the Yellow Jackets, Scheibelhut and Bentler go to the bench. Gabby Garrett and Lily Edwards check back in. First free throw is good there from Marshall. And Edwards, who checked in, she's been the offensive leader for the Yellow Jackets tonight. She's been aggressive. She has 9. See what she can do here in the second half as Marshall's second free throw is also up and good. Rao with Garrett tight on her. Purple Raiders still swinging around the three-point arc, and you see the active, quick hands by the Yellow Jackets. They've got their hands up, and good pressure there from Edwards. It looked like Gosman, as she was driving, was going to be able to get that to go. And she was not able to capitalize. Yellow Jackets grab the board. Schill, a good move. And she draws the foul as she scoops it in with the right hand. Riley Schill. What a great move and a great finish by the senior guard, and she's going back to the free throw line. She's now got 8, has a chance to make it 9 points so far for herself on the night. Substitution here by Mount Union. Madison Hensley's going to go to the bench, and checking into the game is Annika Sweeney. And the and one shot rattles around, and it's good for Shell. Maynard to Rao. Screen set, and Rao rolls around that with the right hand and hands it off to Hessel. Hessel to Sweeney, back to Hessel. The shot fake and drives, and it's deflected as she tried to split the two defenders. Looked like Lily Edwards just got her hand on it. And a pass by Garrett. She'll had to go up and grab it, and she did. Garrett, a bounce pass looking for Edwards, and that one is kicked. Yellow Jackets now going to inbound it from under the basket. Another substitution. Sarah Hessel goes to the bench for Mount Union. Hannah Schaefer back in. Schill finds Marshall. Out to Fecht, middle of the floor. Dishes it down to Schill. Schill with the spin to the right hand. She's fouled again. She's going to the line. And Riley Schill, she's a guard who knows how to use her body down low and get physical. And you're seeing that once again as she continues to draw contact, continues to go to the free throw line. And she is a great free throw shooter, as I already mentioned. So she has 2 free throws coming up, and the first one is up and good. Kara Marshall goes to the bench, and Megan Hensel checked in for the Yellow Jackets. Shill's now in double digits and is the leading scorer for the Yellow Jackets, and she makes that second one, and she's now got 11. 43-33 is your score. Under 7 here to go in the third quarter at Ursprung Gymnasium. The dish down. Good use of the body and shielding off Edwards. Gosman goes up and gets the easy 2. She now has 8. Edwards near side of the floor. Out to Garrett. To Schill, back to Garrett. Garrett looking to feed it inside, and she does. And Edwards had a mismatch on the guard, Corinna Maynard. And the Yellow Jackets took advantage of that and cashed in. And we got timeout here by the Purple Raiders. 45-35 is your score. The Yellow Jackets extending their lead. We're going to take a quick break with them. We'll be right back with more third quarter action on BWYellowJackets.com. As I mentioned earlier, the Baldwin Wallace men are in alliance right now, battling the 9th-ranked Mount Union Purple Raiders. They were leading by 4 at halftime, but now with 13 minutes left to go in the second half, Mount Union has a 54-51 lead over the Yellow Jackets, and that one is a close one there, and again, continue to keep you updated. Maynard has it for the Purple Raiders to Rao. Rao driving with the left hand, switches it over to her right and tried to bank it in. Just too strong off of the glass. And the Yellow Jackets grab that board, and Schill out to Edwards. Edwards drives. She goes through the contact and nearly gets it to go. Foul going to be against Gosman. That's her second personal. The 5th team foul on Mount Union, and this is because of the aggressiveness of the Yellow Jackets right now. They're just driving in and drawing that contact and continue to rack up the free throws at this point. Edwards buries her first free throw. She's a 76% free throw shooter on the year. She's now got 12. The second one is up and good, and we got several substitutions now following the free throws. Hannah Fecht checks out. Kara Marshall comes in. And Elena Rao leaves the game for the Purple Raiders, and Annika Sweeney is in. Sarah Turley also down there on the floor with Schaefer. And that shot there from Gosman, and we've seen her finish around the hoop. That one she tried for the three, couldn't get it to go. Ball up to Edwards, tipped around. Edwards comes away with it. Schill has it to Marshall. Marshall. Nice strike down low to Garrett. Garrett kicks it out to Hensel, and it's stripped away from her as she gets her arm hit. And that reach-in foul is going to go against Corinna Maynard. Maynard, the sophomore guard out of Chagrin Falls, went to Kinston High School. She now has that third personal, and she goes to the bench. 6th team foul now on Mount Union. 5 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the third quarter. Megan Hensel buries her first free throw. So Schill's played a good amount of minutes, and as I mentioned earlier, Casey Hughes not playing today, as well as Sydney Snyder, so it means some more minutes for Schill and some of the others. But Emily Lyon also getting some time as she's checked in, and she's had some minutes here and there, but getting a lot more time this evening because of those missing guards. Sauter drives down the baseline, and she tried to go with a bounce pass, and a little hard to complete that, but ball tipped around. Got to get a shot off. 1 second on the shot clock. Does not catch the rim, and Sarah Turley just had to fire. Fortunate to get a shot off for Mount Union, but with that rush shot, not able to get her feet set, and that one was way wide. And with the shot clock violation, the Yellow Jackets take possession of the ball, and you see the full court press again from Mount Union. But the Yellow Jackets have done a great job breaking it. There though, Gabby Garrett tried to bounce it to Hensel off of the leg of Mount Union, going to remain with the Yellow Jackets. So this third quarter, the Yellow Jackets opening up the lead. It was a close game, and at one point it was 19-9 in favor of Mount Union in that first quarter, but now 49-35, and the Yellow Jackets coming out of halftime looking really strong. That bounce pass to Diedrich, bounced around for a little bit. She was able to get it over to Hensel, back to Marshall, back to Hensel for three, and she hits it. Megan Hensel now has 10 points. She's in double digits off of the bench. 52-35 is your score. And the Yellow Jackets continue to cash into this lead, continue to add on to it. And another timeout for the Purple Raiders. We'll take a timeout with them here on BWYellowJackets.com. So looking around the other OAC women's scores this evening. Right now Marietta with a big 61-31 lead over Muskingum in the third quarter. Heidelberg and Ohio Northern in a close one at 25-24 at halftime. John Carroll up 44-36 over Otterbein. And Capital and Wilmington in a close one, 36-34 in favor of Capital. So Mount Union needing to get something going here at Ursprung Gymnasium. And that's going to be a foul against the Yellow Jackets. Going against number 2, Emily Lyon. That's her second team foul on the Yellow Jackets. Going to be inbounded now for Mount Union. It will be number 11, Sarah Turley. She's able to find Sauter. Sauter working on Lyon. To the middle of the floor to Schaefer. Schaefer a dish down low, and Diedrich able to intercept that. Great read by Diedrich, able to get around the freshman Palamoni. Effect. And a great dish to Kara Marshall. A senior connection there, and Marshall puts it up in for the 2. A quick shot, and nothing but net from Sarah Turley. A great finish there, and quickly responding. 54-38 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Lyon drives, draws the contact as she goes to the right hand. She's going to the free throw line now for 2. And that's going to be the 6th team foul on Mount Union. So Riley Schill back into the game for the Yellow Jackets. And after these free throws by Emily Lyon, the first one no good. Tiffany Bentler will be waiting to check in for Lyon at the next opportunity. Second free throw off the back of the rim and just doesn't get the friendly roll. Mount Union coming back the other direction. Sauter down to Palamoni. Working on Diedrich, tried to go under her arm and couldn't get the ball up and to the height of the rim. It hit the underside of the backboard, and the Yellow Jackets quickly streaking down the other way with Kara Marshall. And she finishes with that layup. Great drive and finish by Marshall. She now has 9. 56-38. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Looking for Palamoni again, and Diedrich gets physical, reaches her arm out and swats that away. Lyon with an open 3 off of the front of the rim and no good. Schaefer, she grabbed the board, she quickly came down the other end, and that was way out of control. And the Mount Union coaching staff can't be happy with that, especially when they're trying to get back into this game, and they played a good solid first half. But this third quarter still all Yellow Jackets. Riley Schill had Sauter on her back. A lot of contact there. Sauter went to the ground, and a foul going to go against Schill. So the offensive foul now means Mount Union will come the length of the floor. 56-38. 2 minutes left here in the third. Schill tight on Glass, who just checked in. Over to Maynard, who also just re-entered the game for Mount Union. And Rao with the 3, she couldn't get to go. Fecht pulled down the board for the Yellow Jackets as she had just checked into the game. Over to Gabby Garrett. Garrett decides to back out and find Schill. To Garrett. Fecht on the far side of the floor. To Garrett in the middle. Diedrich in the corner, 10 on the shot clock. Schill near side wing, got 4 to work with. She's got to find an opportunity to shoot. She passes it to Fecht, finds Diedrich in the corner. Diedrich just gets it off. That one does catch the rim. No good though, rebounded by Mount Union. Driving the dish out by Rao. Down to Peoples O'Neill. Picked up her dribble, needs some help. Finds a cutting Maynard, and there you have 3 seconds in the lane, and there's that violation. Good job by the officials as Peoples O'Neill was parked down the lane, and she was looking for help and just couldn't get the ball out of her hand. And now the Yellow Jackets will come the length of the floor. Bentler had it nearly stolen from behind, able to keep it. Fecht down to Edwards. Edwards goes up through the arms of Peoples O'Neill, and it's tipped. And they're going to say that's last off of Edwards. And now Mount Union with a minute left here in the third quarter. An opportunity to come back and try to get some points and cut into the Yellow Jackets lead. 56-38. Rao drives, was looking for a foul in that contact. Officials let that go and let the play go on, and Yellow Jackets quickly come back the other way with Gabby Garrett as she tried to scoop it up and in. Couldn't get to go, but drew the foul there on Mount Union. Goes against number 10, Corinna Maynard, and she's in a bit of foul trouble as she's now got 4 personals. Lainey Ziegler checks in for her first action of the game for Mount Union. Madison Hensley also checks back in, and Rao goes to the bench, and Sarah Turley comes into the game. So Gabby Garrett hits that first free throw for the Yellow Jackets on the floor as Megan Scheibelhut, as well as Garrett, who knocks down that second free throw, as well as Fecht, Izzy Andrews, and Tiffany Bentler. Needs some help. Turley passes it away to Hessel. Hessel finds Hensley. Hensley with a mid-range jumper off of the back of the rim, no good. A good follow by Hessel, and she goes up and puts it back and draws the foul. An opportunity to get the and one. She's going to step to the free throw line. Foul goes against Hannah Fecht. Her first personal. Scheibelhut, Andrews, and Garrett go to the bench for the Yellow Jackets. Schill, Edwards, and Hensel into the game. Hessel's able to cash in that and one. She's now got 4 points of her own this game. 58-41 in favor of the Yellow Jackets as they look to improve their record and make sure they outright win the OAC regular season title. Schill has the ball in her hands, and as we're getting down to the end of this third quarter, she's got 6. She drives, kicks it to Bentler. Bentler off to the side of the rim, no good, and that's how we're going to wrap up the third quarter here at Ursprung Gymnasium. Your Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets leading 58-41. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter on BWYellowJackets.com. And as we're coming out for the fourth quarter action here, at the conclusion of this game between your Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and Mount Union Purple Raiders, a quick look in on the final couple minutes of game action and Alliance. The Yellow Jackets down by 4 as the 9th-ranked Mount Union Purple Raiders are up 65-61. Still a very close one there. In this one, though, Mount Union able to get the early finish in this fourth quarter. 2 for Haley Peoples-O'Neill. And effect crosses half court for the Yellow Jackets over to Hensel. Looking for Edwards on the block. Edwards, she was trying to back down. I think she was expecting more contact from Haley Peoples-O'Neill. O'Neill backed off of her, and Edwards went to the floor and was called with the travel. So now just down 15 are the Purple Raiders, and they've got their offense working once again. Ball to Turley. Pass to the far side wing. Now in the hands of Hensley. Out to Peoples-O'Neill. She needs some help, 8 on the shot clock. Tried to find the cutter. Ziegler was headed down the center of the lane. It was tipped away by Tiffany Bentler, and the Yellow Jackets gained possession. Schill, down low to Edwards. Edwards, a good move. Hits the underside of the rim, though, as she got too far inside. No good. Ziegler. And the three up, and that's an air ball by Madison Hensley. Kara Marshall checks in. Hand effect goes to the bench. Still 58-43 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. 8.5 to go here in the fourth. And despite the foul trouble, she's sitting on 4 personals. Corinna Maynard checks back in for the Purple Raiders. Elena Rao in, as well as Kelsey Glass. Effect working on Maynard. She crosses half court. She rolls around Hensel and then passes it to Hensel. To Bentler in front of her bench. Picks up her dribble. Finds Show, 10 on the shot clock. Marshall on the near wing. Dishes it down low to Schill. Schill, a strong grab and a strong move as she spins off of the pressure on her back. Puts it up and in for 2. She now has 13. And the floated pass inside, taken by the Yellow Jackets. Edwards gets herself caught in a bad position, and Bentler was trying to bail Edwards out and get to the loose ball. And that's going to be a foul on the floor on Tiffany Bentler. So Bentler will take a seat. Edwards will take a seat. Diedrich and Garrett into the game. 60-43 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. I have to say, Alliance not too far away from here, and a lot of Mount Union fans made the trek here and got a lot of fans behind me now, so they did a good job traveling for this one tonight on this Wednesday evening. Garrett over to Diedrich. Diedrich off the side of the rim and no good. That one will go out. Maynard just lets it go. Maynard, far side wing to Rao. Over to Glass. Glass back to Rao. Rao driving with the left hand. She kicks it to Glass. Glass in the near side wing. Picks up her dribble. Back to Rao. And the height advantage, and Hessel takes advantage of that as she was looking straight the hoop over Gabby Garrett, and she finishes that one. Hessel now has 7. Garrett tried to find Diedrich. Good job deflecting that out and denying the entry pass. Yellow Jackets will keep possession of the ball. Several substitutions. So 60-45 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Under 7 here in the fourth at Ursprung Gymnasium. Marshall down to Schill. A kick out and nobody there. And the official's going to say that one was tipped. So no over and back for the Yellow Jackets. Marshall drives to Schill. Schill, wide open 3. She buries it from the corner. 63-45. Schill's got 16. She leads all scorers. Here's a 3 from Rao, and that one hits the side of the rim. Good hustle by Hannah Schaefer, just not able to get to that ball. It's going to be the Yellow Jackets inbounding, and Mount Union, have to give them credit. First half was really solid. Second half, Yellow Jackets have shown their ability and pulled away. But they have not given up this press right now, as they're still showing that they're in the press and at least going to make it a little bit hard, and they back off, but try to make the inbound a little hard for the Yellow Jackets. Schill brings it down for the pass over to Marshall, to Diedrich. Good ball movement. Effect out to Schill, wide open from top of the 3. She hits that one. Back-to-back 3s for Riley Schill. She's now got 19 points. We've hit a 21-point advantage for the Yellow Jackets, 66-45. And a good move going to the left hand, as that's Gosman. Effect needs some help. She found Schill, and Schill quickly up to Marshall. And the Yellow Jackets just running their offense, slowing it down. Still got 5.5 minutes left to go, but trying to score some more points, and a wide open hand effect, and she hits that 3. And this is the complete opposite of what we saw in the first quarter. Yellow Jackets were 0-7 from the three-point arc in the first quarter. Now they just continue to bury those shots. Feck now has 10 points herself. Out to Sweeney. Sweeney, a jumper off the front of the rim and no good. And the Purple Raiders just not able to get their shots to go here. Schill over to Marshall in front of her bench. She drives, kicks it to Garrett. Garrett's wide open from three. And nothing but net. That's 4 3 balls in a row for the Yellow Jackets. Mount Union, now a timeout called from their bench, trying to stop the bleeding as the Yellow Jackets keep hitting threes. 72-47. 4.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Once again, an update on the final game minutes at Alliance right now. Mount Union still with a narrow lead over the Yellow Jackets, 67-64. For Mount Union, Nathan Bauer Malone leading the way with 17 points. Colin Gurley has 11 and Devontae Friegel also has 11. Luke Schaefer leading the way for the Yellow Jackets as they're hanging in there, hanging tight with the ninth-ranked team. And Michael Quiring has 12, and Anthony Mazzio just knocked down a shot, and he's now up to 14. And this game just updated once again, and now it shows it is 73-67, so still very close for the Yellow Jacket men, down inside 2 minutes of the second half. Back in this game, the Yellow Jacket women have taken a commanding lead and continue to kill this game off and just continue to win games in the OAC. And they're ranked 12th in the country for a reason. One bad quarter doesn't dictate a game, and they've responded very well after a bad first quarter. There's going to be a foul down on the floor. It's going to go against number 11, Sarah Turley. Ball inbounded to Diedrich. Diedrich backing down, goes to the right hand, and she gets hit. She made a good move to get the shot off as Alamoni was on her back, but caught Elena Rao reaching in, trying to grab that ball. Rao picks up her second personal, and she's now going to sub out. Annika Sweeney checks into the game for Mount Union. First free throw up and good by Sydney Diedrich. And the second one good as well. Diedrich now with 4. 74-47 is your score in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Mount Union swinging around the three-point arc. Shirley thought about the step back three, thought better of it, passed it away. Here's a drive. And the blow by Ziegler. A good job by Ziegler trying to blow by Andrews. She had the step on her, but Andrews fouls her from behind. Andrews picks up her first personal, and Mount Union will inbound it under the basket. And a good quick feed. And Sarah Turley very nearly with the left hand. Just didn't get a friendly roll, couldn't get it to go. Yellow Jackets now with Garrett to Diedrich from the corner. And that one just rattles in and out. Good follow by Hannah Fecht, and the dish to Megan Hensel, and an easy finish. 76-47. Hensel now with 12 points. A step back three, and that's short. And that was Izzy Palamoni who was trying to grab the ball. And that ball just hit on the in line as she was trying to get to it off of that air ball. Now we've got some more substitutions. Jenna Kelly gets her first action of the game for Mount Union. Diedrich checks out for BW, and Megan Scheibelhut comes back in. Emily Lyon comes back in as well. She joins Hensel, Andrews, and Garrett on the floor. 3 minutes left to go here in the fourth. Scheibelhut to the middle to Garrett. Over to Lyon. Garrett on the left side wing. Picks up her dribble to Andrews. Good ball movement here by the Yellow Jackets. 8 on the shot clock. Garrett driving. Goes in the lane, kicks it to Lyon. Lyon thought about it. She's got to put it up as she drives. And she's fouled as she gets into the lane. A nice aggressive take there from Emily Lyon. And she's going to step to the free throw line once again. And the free throw line has been a hot spot for the Yellow Jackets here in the second half. In that first half, they didn't get to the line many times. They were 4 of 6. Now they continue to get to that line in the second half, and now up to 24 free throws. And they've hit 20 of them so far. Lyon now hits that second. 21 of 25 from the free throw line here for the Yellow Jackets, and they just continue to get to the line and be dominant there. 78-47. Just over 2.5 to go in the fourth. A turnaround no good by Palamoni, rebounded by the Yellow Jackets. On the next opportunity, the Yellow Jackets are going to make a full line change. Lyon drives in, takes the contact, a hard fall, and she's going to the line once again, and you've got to like the aggressiveness from Emily Lyon, the sophomore guard out of Medina, went to Highland High School. So all but Lyon will check out as she's got free throws coming up. Into the game, Mackenzie Hance, as well as number 10, Reagan Schill. Number 21, Shelby Heminger. Also, Maraid Liberty, and now we have the substitution for Lyon as she knocked down those free throws, and there's the entry pass and a good finish there from Mount Union, and also number 25, Kelsey George, checked in as she took out Lyon after those free throws. So now 80-49 is your score, still in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and it's been a really good second half for BW as they want to continue to improve on those wins and continue to win as the tournament is close. So also good to see them unload the bench and get some people some opportunities, get them experience. But a turnover there. And Mount Union with a wide open three. And Ziegler not able to cash in on that off of the back of the rim. Scramble for the loose ball. And it looked like that was going to be a tie-up, but instead it's going to be a foul on the Yellow Jackets. It's going to go against number 25, Kelsey George, her first personal in the game. A little confusion there, and they got it straightened out. Mount Union inbounds the ball. Alamoni gives it off to Kelly. Kelly hands it to Sweeney. Sweeney driving. Lots of contact there. Foul's going to go against freshman Reagan Schill. Schill, the younger sister of Riley Schill, who's had an outstanding game tonight. Riley leads all scorers as she has already finished her night with 19 points. And a big factor in this second half, why the Yellow Jackets were able to pull away. First free throw was up and good by Sweeney. She's able to cash in on the second, makes it 80-51, minute and a half left to go. Here's the drive. Heminger kicks it out to Hance. Hance makes a move, and that's got to be a push-off, and it was. Made her defender hit the deck, but a lot of contact there. Crowd went wild, but certainly a foul, and Mount Union takes possession. Quick update on the men's game, and that one. The Yellow Jackets, give them credit, they hung in there. They're still down 6 though with 27 seconds left. Be hard to believe that they can make up that gap, but they hung with the 9th ranked team in the country. 79-73 is the latest update on that one. Spin and a good move. There's a foul. So Izzy Palamoni will go to the line. So Palamoni, her first shot is up and nothing but net. She knocks that in. And the next opportunity, Palamoni is going to be coming out, and we'll see Destiny Roberts get her first action of the game. Palamoni's free throw is off the side of the rim, so we're going to have to wait on that sub. Yellow Jackets quickly coming down. We're under a minute here in the 4th quarter. Ball swung around by Yellow Jackets. Hance. It's Hemminger driving. Kicks it back. Good ball movement. And we've got a foul on the offensive end by the Yellow Jackets. And here comes that substitution. Roberts gets her chance to check in with 31.9 seconds left. Only 2 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Ball kicked out. Sweeney. Kelly trying to make a move. She finds Roberts. It's kicked out, and there's a push by the Yellow Jackets, and I want a little bit of a soft call, but it gives Roberts an opportunity to cash in on her first points. She just got in 20 seconds ago, and now she gets to step to the free throw line. First free throw is up off of the back of the rim and takes a friendly bounce, and she's on the board. Second one up and no good. Shot clock off, and the Yellow Jackets can just hold this one and kill off the game. Hance keeps possession of it, and that's going to do it. 80-53, your final score. The Yellow Jacket ladies win this one, and there you have it. They already clinched a possible share of the OAC title, but now with 1 game left in the regular season, John Carroll doesn't have an opportunity to catch them. And so your Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets have sole possession of the OAC regular season title. Congrats to these ladies as they improved to 22-2 and 16-1 in the conference. Mount Union played well in the first half, just not able to keep it together in the second half, and BW pulled away. Mount Union drops to 14-10, 8-9 in the conference. Quick update on the next game for the Yellow Jackets. It's at the Reich Center at Otterbein on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and so that will wrap up the regular season for the Yellow Jackets. So once again, was a big week as they got that win at Capital after they got a big win against John Carroll. And Hannafect passed 1,000 career points, and now the Lady Yellow Jackets here get a big win over Mount Union, and they have the OAC regular season title. So thanks again for tuning in. I'm Cole McDaniel. Appreciate you listening on BWYellowJackets.com. Once again, 80-53 is your final score, and the Yellow Jackets get to celebrate and cut down the nets here at Ursprung Gymnasium. Great scenes here. So thanks again. Make sure to tune in. We've got men's basketball here at Ursprung Gymnasium against Otterbein on Saturday. Have a good night.